a shine into me and they just liked me. But I didn't know what I was getting into at the time. I didn't know who they was, like, on the first night when I met them. I didn't really know. They're just cool. You know what I mean? It's a group of them and like, yeah, they're nice. You know what I mean? But I don't really know anything about them. But they take a shine into me. I remember the night I first met them. I thought I don't know, you know, like I was so stupid. Like I thought it was a G, like drink Hennessy and all stupid and smoke weed. And I remember they bet me, yeah, £200, yeah, because I was saying that I'd down this whole half a bottle now, straight, like that. I'm thinking, they're like, £200 bet you can't do it. And I'm thinking, yo, I get a new pair of TNs with that. £200, yeah. Listen, I just backed the whole half a bottle of vodka, drunk the whole thing, and I was fine. I was on hype, shouting, what? Give me my £200 and all this on some hype thing. Went outside, fresh air hit me, boom, vomit everywhere, like messed up. They've obviously had to drag me back into the house, like I'm vomiting everywhere. All I know is I woke up the next morning and I'm on the sofa, yeah, with a cover over me. Like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah.
Complete mind blank.
Yeah. Lifted up the sheet. I'm arse naked. I'm out completely naked. So now I'm pissed. I'm like, who the fuck? I'm mad now because I'm thinking, they're like, no, you was drunk. You vomited all over your clothes. We had to take your clothes off. Or we didn't want to let you sleep and you're sick or whatever. But from there, they just loved me. They took a shine into me.
Why is that? Did they see
I don't
you?
know, because they just thought like, this kid's crazy. This kid's crazy. Do you know what I mean? That's what they thought. This kid's crazy. Do you know what I mean? So, after that, obviously, like the olders have come around. Like, as I said, like my friend, one of his brothers was one of them olders and that. Yeah, I'm not saying he said this to me, but what was said to me was like, yo, listen, you see them girls, yeah, they got mad paper. Like, they're mashing mad food. That's what, and I'm like, what? Girls? Because obviously back then, yeah, like the older guys that I've been around, I see them selling crack and all that. I knew what all that shit was. I see them doing all that. Like, I'm in the car with them and they're meeting the junkies and all of that. And it's like, yeah, at first you're worried, like, yo, that man's crazy. And that. They're like, nah, man, that's just how we move. So obviously I'm kind of used to that world already. Do you know what I mean? Just being around like the older kids and the older guys. They're not kids. I was a kid. They'd probably be about, at the time, they might have been like 19 or 20. They would have probably been about 20 even, about them. But they're like, listen, you know, the one with the house, whose house it was, her man has gone to prison. Yeah. And he's left her, because obviously he's a trapper, and he's left her 100 grand in cash. Yeah. You need to get in there and find out the ins and outs, and we're going to run up in there. That's what they said. That's what they said. Do you know what I mean? I'm a kid at the time, so, but I still, you see me, yeah? I'm still me. Like, I've always been me from, like, in a sense of morality, yeah? Like, they was cool to me. Like, they was, I get anything from them. Anything. I'm like, they'd buy me jewelry, new trainers, everything. Like, and as I said, they said that there was 100 grand of cash that the boyfriend had left, yeah, from whatever he was doing. And I see it. I never counted it. So I can't tell you that it was 100 grand. But all I know was the most money I'd ever seen in my life, yeah, on the the living room coffee table, yeah.
Or just there, plain as day.
No, they was counting.
Yeah,
they was counting. Obviously, they. So she had that money there. The other one, who I ended up having a kid with, she was doing her own thing anyway, but she was doing it for some guy, some big man in London who had the whole of Reading. When I say the whole of Reading, I mean like the black, like crack community, like because Reading has a big like Bayesian people from Barbados, big community. So this guy seemed like he was like the man. They was working for him. That's why they would never get touched. Do you understand? So I'm there, and obviously I see the money and all of that. I see a lot of money anyway. Can't tell you it was 100 grand, but it was more than I'd ever seen before. And it's like, they're cool to me, man. I'm not going to set these up. I'm not going to do that. That's just not me. I don't care if it makes me sound soft or I look soft or whatever. You should have just gone on with the mission or whatever. No. Like, they cool to me. That's not my character. So I ended up living with them. And that was it. I just ended up living with them. Like, we was in the house. And I lived with them probably for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? And then that's when I saw the world of shit. The world of shit.
What's cool about this is like most of the stories start with like it's men in the gangster world. What's interesting is it's girl gangsters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah,
it's mad.
yeah.
Like honestly, I said like I ended up having a kid with one of them. Yeah. Like you would never ever. It's like that never even happened in her world now. She's cool. She's the drug worker and all of that now, like helping people.
That's good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's not bad.
Sorry, it's these. No, no, it's these lights up there. Sorry.
But yeah. So obviously, I was just living with them for God knows how long. And I used to sell weed. I started selling weed or whatever. And again, when you're seeing me with them, yeah, plus all the older guys that maybe just a few years younger than them, but they're like older for me that are doing their thing, like you will see me with them. The big people think you know what I mean? He's cool. He's with everyone. Like,
Part of the family.
You know what I mean? He's cool with everyone. Anyway, out of that money, yeah, that was there, they gave me like I think it was like a 3.5 grand loan. And like one of them, I'm not saying my baby mum.
Yeah, no names.
Yeah, there's one of them. Gave me a 3.5 grand loan and was like, do your thing. So then that's when I first bought like my first key of weed. Back then you could get for like 28. You know what I mean? And then
reasonably priced.
like, yeah, and then like I just started selling weed. Like me and my boys were selling weed and stuff like that. And then obviously word got around because like at one time there's a drought, nobody's got weed, but I got weed. Do you understand? And
prices are up.
Do you know what I mean? So, but it's like it gets around the town that certain man want weed, like proper people that was doing their thing, like older people that was doing their thing, who are not part of who I used to hang around with. Yeah. Obviously on the thing what you said, we allude to it. Me and Hits allude to it. Like they had heard that this young kid's got weed. Do you know what I mean? This young kid's got weed. So obviously that's how I ended up meeting all of those guys now. So like everybody knows me. I'm good. I can go to anybody, and like all the big guy who was running the stuff like back them times, not the main one, but the other ones in the area, I could go and ask them for a bit of weed to sell whatever, and they'll give me. So it's good.
How did you first meet Hits then in this story?
That's how.
Just
That's
like
what
that.
I'm talking about.
That was the first
kid,
time.
The kid,
okay.
he's looking for weed.
Yeah.
And he hears that these little kids have got these young kids have got weed down in Mikado.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? Nobody's got weed. No, they got weed. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I met him. And I was 14.
The first time,
and I was
right.
14 years old.
When did you first get your hands on a gun?
When I was 14.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of this stuff was all going on all at a major time. So basically, the house I used to live in or whatever, ended up getting robbed. So
It got robbed.
So my
By
best
the
friend,
same crew that was...
no, nobody knows to this day who it was. So basically the girls doing whatever they're doing, yeah. And my best friend who died, he got killed, not at this time, but when I was in prison. Happened to be the anniversary yesterday of his death. Like, he told me that because I'd left the house and I'd gone back to my parents' house just to see my parents for a bit, and they're going crazy. They don't want me to leave, but they don't know really what's going on or whatever, but they're threatening to do this and do that. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to admit to anything. You think I'm going to go there and be like, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with these older women and that?
No.
I'm not going to do that. So what can they do? What can they do? So I've left to go back home, and when I'm at home, I'm trying to phone Digital, and I'm trying to holler at him and say like what's going on down there? I'm coming back in a minute, or whatever. But he's not answering his phone. When I got back down there, I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? I caught a taxi back, got back down there, got into the estate, and there's this ambulance everywhere, police, all kind of shit. I'm thinking, what the fuck's happened? Flew out of the taxi. So Leroy had been stabbed, the house had been run up in, they had been tied up, and all of this crazy shit. So to explain what really happened, from what I found out afterwards, from what he told me, is he's a cool guy. Like he's the kind of guy back then would be my total opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the sense of, here you see him, you never see him frat. He always smiling. He's always happy, to the point where you're smiling like, what the fuck he's so happy about? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm the guy who, like, that's my right hand, that's my brother. Nothing ain't happening when I'm around. You know what I mean? Because he's not the one to be for the smoke. I was, you know what I mean? So it's like, he's told me that he's gone back to his mum's, because his mum's was literally probably about 50 meters, 100 meters away from the house that we were staying in. He was going out with one of the girls as well. Yeah. Right. So, he's gone back home, and when he's gone back home, he's gone to go back to the house. He said when he's walking, he's seen a couple people outside the house, a couple brothers outside the house, and what he's like, as I said, he's just a happy, cool guy. He's seen them, and he said he felt like he knew them. So he looked at them and he said like, hello, and they said hello to him, and he's walked past them to walk into the front door. And as he's got to the front door, boom, gun butt back of the head. It's been dragged into the house. When he's dragged into the house, all the girls are tied up in the living room, pillowcases over their heads. They put pillowcase over his head. Where's this? Where's that? They stabbed him up. Like, he had to have been like 16 then, because he's a couple years older than me. You understand? He had to go through all that at 16.
How many robbers were there?
I don't know.
No, they didn't see.
No, I don't know.
Still plodding.
Yeah, everyone's got pillowcases over their head and all of that. Yeah. And they're being told that this can happen to them, that's going to happen to them. Do you know what I mean? So when I went down there and I've seen all the ambulance, I'm not going to lie to you, I've just freaked out. Because I heard he's got stabbed, I just freaked out. You know what I mean? And it's like, I ain't care about nobody else. I ain't care about nobody else that was there. It's bad to say, but I'm going mad because this is my bro. Like, we sleep top to toe in the bed from kids. You know what I mean? All of us. We sit down, watch a movie in a single bed. Little kids, you know what I mean? Like, these are my people. And I just go mad. Like, and I knew that there was a thing about it. I knew that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say who had it, but someone had a thing, yeah? And you mean to tell me that you lot got the thing and you let this happen? That's how I was thinking. So I'm thinking straight. I said to you, like, all I used to watch is very crazy Juice and all of that movie, Tupac movies, all that. Like, you lot got the thing, and I took that. I took that, and then from there, I swear, blind, I thought I was Bishop. I swear, blind, that's how I thought I was Bishop for a bit. You know what I mean? Because I was gassed. I had that, and it was just like anybody that's coming, because there's no way we're gonna find who done it. We knew that, but in my head, it was just like, this is not gonna happen to us again. I got this, and then obviously, that's when my older friend, saying, my older friend just like, how the fuck have you got that? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, who the fuck gave you that? Like, and then it's just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, dissuaded me to hand it over, kind of thing. And like, obviously, not like took it off of me, nothing like that, but he got it off of me. You get me? Because he knew what was gonna happen. Some little kid running around with that. It was just a disaster waiting to happen. So yeah, I mean, so that was like 14 to 16. When I was 16, that's when I moved back home.
So in the aftermath of that, then was there like investigations of who could possibly have done it?
We don't know, because things just started spiraling out of control. The girl that had all the money blew all of that. And that ended up going nowhere. The other people that was doing whatever they was doing with the big man, like, just didn't seem to be working right. The big man felt like since I had come on the scene, everything had started going wrong. So, but I was a little shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't even know what I was doing back then, because there's a couple phone calls, you know, like the big man went on the phone to me on my phone and talked some real shit. Like, bro, like, ever since you've been around, everything's been fucking up. And I was just a shit. I'm there talking a whole heap of hype shit on the phone back to him like an idiot, like, because I'm just a gassed up little kid. They're talking a load of hype shit, not even really thinking what can really go down. Well, I'm not, just don't care. I know what can go down, obviously. I know, look at, but I just don't care about them. But I ended up when I was 16, as I said, that's when I moved back home. And that's when basically, like, obviously then now I'm a dad and all of that.
So what age were you a dad?
So like, she was pregnant when I was 15.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
That must have been hard.
yeah, but I never really saw her like pregnant. It was just like
Here you go, you're a dad.
she'd run off like on some mad shit, and then the next minute, boom, here you go, you're a dad. That's how it was for me, kind of thing. Yeah. So it never really, I never had to do that one where, you know, you're sitting down and you're thinking about planning and you're gonna have a family, and I need to. It wasn't really like that for me.
How shocked were you?
Not shocked at all.
No?
Nah, 'cause I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping with a girl. I'm not stupid. I know how it works. I might have been young, but I know how it works. So I wasn't shocked at all.
Wow.
What about like the sense of, I'm proud I've got a child?
So when the whole time when she's pregnant and all of that, like when she's pregnant and that, it hasn't even, because remember, I'd never seen her. She had her own problems going on. That's why I rate her for what she's done. But she had her own problems going on back then or whatever. And she ran off or whatever. And I never saw her. You know what I mean? But I've spoken to her a few times, but it never really hit me that I was a dad, even when I actually got him. Like when he first came, I didn't know what to do. And Leroy,
You're 15, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and Leroy, 15 just turning 16 kind of thing. But Leroy, Digital, the one who died, he's like, nah, bro, look, you got to hold the head like this. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's my proper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. Like, you got to hold the head and make sure his head don't. I didn't know how to do none of that. You know what I mean? But when it really hit me that it was his dad was when he got a little bit older and he could talk.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time he said it specifically, because I got that kind of memory where like to this day, like, I will never forget that jacket that you're
I
wearing.
don't think anyone will.
Like even 10 years down the line, I will be able to say, yeah, she was wearing such and such jacket. I just got that kind of weird memory. Yeah.
The Oriental.
Yeah. I remember the first time specifically when he was stood at the top of a slide with his mum. They was going down the slide and he shouted, "Watch dad, watch dad." And it's the first time he ever called me dad, and I was like, yo. That's when I knew I was a dad.
It's wicked.
That's when I knew I was a dad.
And what had happened to your school throughout this period of time?
Never went.
Never went.
I used to go to school every time when I was at school, yeah, I just have problems at school all the time because like when I would go and the classes and all that, the work, I'll be in all the top classes. Like it just wasn't stimulating enough for me. So I'd always find myself in trouble in school as well, like fights or whatever, or just do some mad shit. Like a teacher will talk crazy to me and I might just lose it. Like I was stupid back then. So yeah, school. And it was like, obviously once I met them and I'm seeing all this money, I'm thinking, ain't the whole purpose of school, yeah, for me to flip and get a job and make money. What do I need to go to school for when the money's here right now? We can make money. Like then that's how I thought. That's how I thought.
So you're back at your parents. You got a kid.
Yeah.
And are you like trying to get away from the lifestyle now, or are you still deep?
Nah, I'm still. But now I know the whole game now. Nah, I know the whole game now. I've been in it from a kid, so I know the whole game now. So, like, at the time, you see them older people that I was saying that I first met, when they're established, like some of them anyway, are established, but they're older heads. I still hang around with them, yeah. Like the whole time, I still hang around with them, and some of them are getting it in, yeah. Some of them are getting it in. Others are more soldiers, for want of a better word. But they was boring, man. They was boring. Like for me, they was boring. You just should, like, they don't do nothing. They don't want to go nowhere. They don't want to do anything. They just want to trap, and that's it. But you gotta remember, I just come from being around these people, and we're going to all these big hotels. We're staying in a hotel for the weekend and all that. Like as a kid, I'd never done any of that shit before, and now we're going back to just hanging around in the ends. That's long. So another group of people that is like a kind of splinter group. Yeah, they're family. They're still family to this other group. They just come out of prison, and all man used to do is hear stories about them. That's it. Like they was known to be like kind of like they're robbers, like stick up kids kind of thing. They do mad robbery and they make money, they get it in, they live the fast life. That's what they've been doing in prison the whole time. Just so happens, yeah, the girls that I used to hang around with, the girls that from before, they used to hang around with them before I met them. Yeah. They was all good friends with them, like best buddies. Like, like they used to hang around with them.
So how do you know they're not responsible for the robbery?
No. They was in prison.
At the time.
They was in prison. Maybe.
Yeah.
But they was in prison.
At the time.
So yeah.
Alibi.
Yeah, you never know. But like, so they come out of prison, and obviously like I've heard about them. Now, my friend, the one who died, yeah, he started going out with one of the sisters. So now, like, obviously, like I'm meeting them, and obviously they're hearing about me. This young kid, I start hanging around with them now. Do you know what I mean? Maybe was the biggest mistake of my life. Biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's only one road that's leading to. There's only one road that's leading to, and people was warning me, you know. People was telling me, but you don't want to hear that. You thinking they're hating and they're talking shit, so I'm not going to hear that. But it was like, they come out. I heard that, in there, they go to the gym and all of that. That's why I started going to the gym.
Is that the only reason?
What? They're coming out. I heard they go to the gym. They're big. I'm got to be big and all of that. Even though I'm a little kid, I got to be big as well. I heard that's what they do in jail and that. They get diesel and that. So that's when I started training.
Yeah.
That's when I started training. And it's like, obviously I come out and I meet them and they're cool. And it's just exciting being around them. And they got mad respect. So, like, we was having fun, but one of the individuals, like, it's like, we end up being closer. We literally live 5 minutes away from each other. And it's like, you come like, I look at you like my brother now. You know what I mean? We're just all the time. But it would literally piss me off all the time. Piss me off all the time. To the point where I'll be like, fuck this shit, man. Forget my man. I don't even want him around me no more. Like, I'm staying up and I try and avoid him. Yeah. And I try and avoid him. Bearing in mind, this is the same people that everyone kept telling me, don't trust him, you know. Don't trust him because this, blah, 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 blah. And listening. So, like, I lost my trail of thought there. I lost my trail of thought. But all I know is that, like, I kind of, like, at times would try and stay away from him. And they'd be looking for me everywhere. Like, all ringing, getting him, where's Ghost, like, to the point it was weird. Like, even trying to get my girl's number in there. Yeah. And then,
That's
you know
what I was
where
going
to
to
find
ask
me.
you. Why is your nickname Ghost?
I just had it from a kid.
What, because you're never around?
Yeah, I'll never really see me doing shit. But it happens though. Like it used to anyway.
Yeah.
But nah, just the name. This is my MC name.
Oh, okay.
My MC name, because I used to be an MC, you know.
Wicked.
This it all ties in. Like, all
Come
of that.
into it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So basically, yeah, like I'll be trying to stay away from him, and then he'll finally bump into me. And when we do finally bump into him, we're like, yo, come out, we're going such and such and we're going such and such. And I'll be like, nah, fuck that, nah, I can't, like, I ain't got no money or whatever. And he knows I got money. And he'll be like, I'll pay for you. So now what am I gonna say? So I end up going out with him, and I go out with him, and we're out partying. And I'm sitting there, we've had 2 drinks. And I'm like, yo, you know what? My man's cool, you know. He's all right. I don't know why I was trying to avoid him.
Alcohol does that.
Exactly. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, he's cool. Like, why am I trying to avoid him? And then some shit will happen. And basically, that's how I ended up going to prison. Like, trying to stay away or whatever. Ended up going out one night. Didn't want to go out that night. And then next minute, someone gets shot. And someone gets cut in their face. And it's all mayhem. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But getting back to my name and the music thing. So this whole time, I've been into music the whole time. And everyone, like when I started it, same my friend who died, he's the one who was like, yo, he was the first Don that done the MC thing. It wasn't the best, but he done it, and he looked like he's like, trust me, try a thing. Wrote my first rhyme, and he was like, yo, that's hard. You need to keep doing that shit. Yeah. And then that's how I got into it. Everyone ended up knowing that, like, this could be my way. like forward, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Those girls, I remember those girls went and bought me the most expensive Sennheiser mic they could find and all of that. Do you know what I mean? So it was nice. And I used to be on like Raw Mission straight after Nasty Crew, which was a pirate radio station back in the day, like a big pirate radio station. So Nasty Crew, you know who Nasty Crew are?
Mm-mm.
You know who Kano is and that, innit? On
He's
Top
not very
Boy.
into it.
You know Top Boy. You don't know Top
Because
Boy.
I lived in America for 20
Okay,
years.
Top Boy's like one
So
of
I
the
missed
biggest.
all the English
So
stuff.
Top Boy's like one of the biggest series out, TV series. He stars in that now.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So like, I used to be. They was Nasty Crew. Like they used to be on, I think it was 6 to 8, and me and my friend, which was co-defendants, we used to come on 8 till 10 straight afterwards. So I was there, I was trying to think. I was like moving around and stuff. Like people was getting to know me. Other big MCs, like some ones that made some big tunes back then. I'm not gonna shout their name because they might not want me to, but I'll be around them as well. Like some well-known ones.